Hi, I'm Laura.
And I'm Lowell.
Welcome to the Laura and Lowell Show. And today we have our guest, Yoshimi. It's such a pleasure to be here, and thank you for letting us come to your home to interview you as an artist.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Where are we, Laura? We're in
Croton-on-Hudson.
Yeah, up the beautiful river towns. We drove up here from where I grew up in Elmsford and drove through Scarborough and Ossining and Tarrytown around the lakes near Rockefeller Estate. I went to school there, high school, on the other side, Hackley. So it's a beautiful ride up to a beautiful home where we're going to learn about a beautiful Japanese art, which is called what, Yoshimi?
Actually, it's not Japanese art.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, actually, I basically used origami technique. Origami means folding paper. And also, I am using Japanese traditional paper with beautiful kimono patterns. It's mulberry paper, and it's called yuzenwashi. And what can I say? It's originally Japanese technique and Japanese paper started, but I created my own way, combining with non-Japanese coating.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's why I think that this is very important activity for me as a Japanese who is living in this country. Because when I just tried to do it, I was impressed by the beauty of the result. And so I suddenly realized that, wow, this is just like my life here. I'm a Japanese, lived in non-Japanese culture, and my life is so beautiful. Yeah. So it's a long story. But sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I had a question and you started to answer it. So it is your own unique art form which represents the interaction of someone who is native Japanese who came to live in America with a host culture. So you've adapted from your home culture and the host culture to create this art form. Can you show our viewers some of the items that you have here that you've made?
Yes. Oh. These are the earrings.
So pretty.
This is very well known, and it doesn't have to be my technique. It's a crane earrings, and many Japanese people probably making it for the fundraiser.
Oh, okay.
This is very antique, very old.
Never knew that. That's gorgeous.
But this is just original one. But my technique is, okay, this is more easy to see. The basic is a paper.
Okay,
mulberry paper.
Right.
This Yoshimi has made this
Coating.
Yeah.
Over
That's
that
beautiful.
paper. And this paper's beauty
Nice.
is enhanced by this.
And what did you
coating.
cover it with, like a shellac?
This is a polymer.
Polymer.
Yes,
How
it's
creative.
But probably many people know about this coating. But actually, it's very hard to tame. It's very thick and sticky and never be washed. Be able to be washed.
So you make little dinner trays where you can sit and put stuff. Or
Yeah, you can use it for anything.
anything.
And almost looks like glass.
I like it. It's like an art piece.
Do you have students? Do you give classes in this art form that you've created? And how long have you been doing this?
Yeah, I have been doing this Magokoro technique craft work for 12 years. Yeah, so it's a back and forth, I'm sorry, but my original point is making paper dolls out of origami papers.
Really? Wow.
Yes,
Interesting.
because we're supposed to be back to Japan in 3 years after we came here. It's 98.
You've been here since 1998 for 3 years.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, but suddenly we
Funny.
changed.
You changed your mind.
Right, and my husband was working for a Japanese company, but he decided to quit it and became independent. And our lifestyle suddenly changed. And we came to Croton because we used to live in Scottsdale. There are a lot of Japanese community, and it was kind of safe and very easy to see what's happening. You know, in 3 years we'll be back to Japan, right? But suddenly we decided to change our life, and we came to Croton because we wanted to start our life with the whole family.
Oh, how beautiful!
In a new situation.
Right.
Because for kids, it's unfair if, I'm sorry, too long story.
Oh, it's a wonderful story.
It's wonderful.
It's just the right length. Abraham Lincoln was once asked, and this is, sometimes these apocryphal tales are true, how long should a man's legs be, or a lady's? And he said, long enough to reach from your waist to the ground. So it's neither long nor short, it's perfect. And what you were saying about the children and starting a new life, would you please continue? It's fascinating.
Thank you very much. So children were in Japanese school for 2 years. And, but we had to bring them to local school. It's a big drastic change.
Yes.
So we decided to jump into new life altogether. So we left Scottsdale, where my friends were there.
Right.
But we came here.
Nice.
Without knowing anybody else.
Really? Wow.
But life was amazing. First of all, I started to miss Japan because we decided not to go back to Japan. And I missed the Dough Festival, which is March 3rd.
The Dough Festival?
Dough
as in...
Dough, beautiful, no, Dough, D-O-L-L.
Dough Festival.
Dough Festival. Dough Festival.
Right,
wonderful. It's a beautiful dough.
How nice.
And we left it in Tokyo because we didn't want to stay here so long. So I decided to make that many dolls on a beautiful 7 stairs with paper. And I made it. And one of my friends saw it, and she just surprised. How beautiful, Yoshimi, how beautiful! And I didn't expect that. You know, it was just basic origami. And one day she brought me this type of earring.
Could you say again what origami is? It's making dolls out of paper? Is that it?
Origami means folding paper.
Folding paper.
Yeah. So folding paper can create like a crane or a paper bowl or dolls.
But paper.
Paper.
It's paper.
Designs of different styles of.
Yes.
So you took from that.
Yeah. Would you please?
Of course.
This tray?
Yes.
Over there.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I just had a workshop with a kid.
Oh,
so
lovely. Look at that.
It's a square paper and
That's
fold.
So beautiful.
And
oh, neat.
no, it's too big.
Okay.
Low. But it's a paper ball.
Wow.
So 2D sheet of paper becomes 3D object.
Oh, neat.
Fascinating.
That's
Right?
fascinating.
So this is just one of origami technique. Probably many people know.
Look at that. It changes completely
Right.
into like a little box.
Yeah. And this is a crane. And it becomes like this.
Wow.
Right?
That's neat.
So
I'm going to hold this up. A bird made of paper.
yeah.
An origami crane.
Yes. And this is a cup.
What does origami mean in Japanese?
Ori means to fold. Gami means paper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I never knew
makes
that.
sense.
Yes.
So one day she brought me like this, much more like basic way, not like chain like that. But she brought me, Yoshimi, you can make this one better.
Oh my goodness.
That was the first
What a
trigger
story.
to
That
jump.
was a trigger.
Yes. Still, she's important friend of mine.
That's beautiful.
So, no, I'm not a craft person. I don't like origami much. Like that, I started. But her encouragement is amazing.
It is.
Right?
Yes,
It's
such a-
it
Yes.
is. We can vouch for that.
Yes, we can. Or discouragement.
That's true too.
The power, it can go either way,
It can go
and they're
either way.
very powerful.
Yeah.
So you were encouraged to go on this path by your friends.
Yes.
to create your own art based on origami.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
That is.
Yeah. So one point
Touching.
I found this coating and I just tried. As I told you, I was fascinated. So I started to coat earrings.
Wow. How creative.
Yeah. So I started with this crane earrings first,
Right.
and next I started to make this paper ball earrings.
Beautiful.
But
Talented.
thank you. But at the first stage was not like this really jewelry kind. I used people use the wire, push
Yeah,
in
right.
and hook it. It's very easy to make,
Right.
but I wanted to make it much more sensitive, beautiful.
Very classy.
Yeah.
With the little pearls
And what these are, I would think they're for girls.
Right?
And in general, what age girls like to wear them, or all ages, depending on how they feel?
Yes.
What kind of girls do, are they small girls or teenage girls or older girls who like this kind of art form for earrings?
No limitation.
Okay.
From little girl to like 80 years old
And
lady.
you have customers of all ages.
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Unfortunately. Yeah. Right. I'm very grateful for that.
You are wearing earrings that you made, right?
Yes,
I thought
sure.
so. Beautiful.
So in this way, I started to make and I started to coat. Of course, the beginning was disaster. I made a bunch of them, and in the next morning, everything was stuck together, and I had to throw away. And it's been so long to get really be able to tame them. I say tame them because the liquid is so mean.
Interesting.
Yeah, and also I started to use a gold lame for the hanging.
Nice.
But at one point, another my good friend pushed me, Yoshimi, why don't you use real beautiful chains?
Yes.
No way. Always I say, no way, I can't do it. But later, I might be.
I want to say something about
That's-
chains. This is a Star of David I have. It's a present from our younger daughter. And at first I had pretty much a shoelace I had it tied up with. And then this chain is a gift from my mom because she said, you know, if you have such a beautiful little Star of David, you really need a nice chain to go with it. So when you say they have to have beautiful chains, that resonates with me.
That's beautiful.
Yes,
And they're very elegant.
They really are.
Dainty, like, you know, it just gives you a nice dainty feeling.
Yeah, actually, they are amazingly light.
All handmade.
Yeah, all handmade. So I will explain to you how I make, especially for earrings. First, I choose the paper. I have many 100 kind of papers.
Wow.
Beautiful papers.
Nice.
It's not my artwork,
Uh-huh.
so I really appreciate Japanese these artists.
Where do you get them?
Most of them from Japan.
Japan.
I
Wow,
buy
that's beautiful.
them and I bring
And
them.
it's like a wallpaper that they sell there? or-
No, it's called yuzenwashi. In Japan, we usually use it for the wrapping paper.
Wrapping paper.
Or-
Oh, it's wrapping paper.
Yeah,
Oh.
but please touch it. It's almost like fabric.
Yes.
Oh, it's
that's-
gorgeous.
It's
This is from Japan?
It's
Yes.
got a nice feeling.
It's
Better,
called-
it's like thicker than traditional American wrapping paper. It's got a better quality.
Yes, and it's very hard to rip. So
Oh,
itself
okay.
is already
Yeah, sturdy.
Yeah, sturdy. Even if it absorbs water,
Right.
it won't rip or it won't be damaged.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But it's still made of paper.
Right.
Fascinating.
So there's such a story. This is a plain paper, right?
Okay.
In Edo era, it's still samurai time. Okay, merchants all have like a notebook of their
to write
sales
on
right
there.
down,
Yes.
and they have a bunch of this paper, right?
Nice.
But when a fire occurs, they drop the notebook in the well,
Oh,
okay, to save it.
right.
And after the fire extinguished, they pick it up,
Right.
shake it off, dry it, and started to use.
Really? How
So-
wonderful.
This is the quality of this.
The quality. See, what we learn. We would have never known that. That's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
We're never
Great.
too old to keep learning.
Never too young to start learning.
That's
And
right.
also, as Yoshimi said about, it didn't come out so well the first day, one of my books that I constantly go to is The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and she has all sorts of wonderful sayings, and one is, don't think it up, write it down, and don't be perfect, just be finished. So, or as my father would say, a lawyer who never lost a case, never tried one. So, you just have to overcome, we have to overcome our fear of learning new things. Whereas Tony Horton, who calls himself Muscle Confucius, who's a fitness trainer in California, and one of my favorite ones, says, I became as strong as I am by doing things that were difficult for me, not by that were easy. He says, train for your strengths. Weakness is not for your strengths. He said this is especially difficult for men because we don't like others to see, or for ourselves to see, that we don't do something perfectly. He said the only way you're going to learn something new is I did what was hard, not was easy, and he keeps pushing himself like that. And that's really a discipline to learn, because it's very intimidating to keep trying to ice skate something new each day, and then you fall down and don't do it right. And so
You're an inspiration.
You just did it.
Yoshimi. You really inspire us, and it's like I feel like I want to make something just listening to you going through this.
Yeah,
so
please do. Please
one
do.
day I'd love to learn.
Yeah,
It would be wonderful.
and everybody has a creation
Yes.
and inspiration. My stuff is kind of the crystal. I would say crystal now. Crystal of the friendship and my love to
Beautiful.
Japan,
That's lovely.
my love to New York,
That's
America.
lovely. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and also my inspiration. And
Powerful.
thank you. And
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
listening. I'm listening.
yeah, sorry. And this is my logo.
Oh, how
It's
beautiful.
Magokoro
I
in
like that.
Japanese. And
How nice.
it's all hand drawn at
Beautiful.
each one. And this leaf shape is, I think, this is a forum how we can get the inspiration from somewhere apart. Because in this way, I have been inspired many times in many ways. Of course, from my craft work, other life. And I think that always inspiration is falling from the sky somewhere. Spiritual, higher spirit always giving us inspiration.
Yes, definitely.
But the point is, if our heart is open
Open
or
for
not.
it. Yes.
So I'm always trying to be open and receiving and appreciate.
That's so beautiful.
It never ends.
Laura, do you have a concluding question or comment for Yoshimi, or a
Wow.
comment?
I'm just so inspired listening to your stories. They're beautiful.
Thank you.
And you've opened me up and to allow that to happen more. And I hope all of you can open up too and take all that beauty and words of wisdom. It's so special and rich. And she's near the beautiful Hudson River, where Clearwater takes place every year with Pete Seeger. And she couldn't be here in a more beautiful home environment, near the beautiful peace of the Hudson and serenity for you, the work you do, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yoshimi, how do we say thank you in Japanese?
Arigatou.
Arigato?
Yes.
So,
Arigato.
arigato Yoshimi, and arigato to our viewers for watching and
Thank you.
listening.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you. That was
you.
beautiful. I just turned